Welcome to Dice Junkies. I'm Zeno Damus, and here in the studio we actually have
Blood Axe.
Q.
So yeah,
he's actually here.
No
trick.
Skyping.
Look.
And,
I can touch him. He's physically present.
They're right over there with the green screen behind them and everything.
They didn't know we were doing a trick and we had just pasted you there this time. So it's got like, no, he's physically here. You see the shadowing? Either we're really good at special effects or, wouldn't that be good if we got to that point? It's like, we got the shadowing.
Well, I think Zeno did increase the budget, so.
A smidge. He hasn't increased the pay rate, man.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. First up, I think we're going to talk about something. I guess we haven't talked about this in a while. It's sort of been sitting.
You're the one who's supposed to be watching this. You're a legal guy.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that.
You watch the cases, you even watch. Well, I mean, other than me, I got certain cases I'm watching, but we can't talk about those.
So, judge sides with Apple, forces Valve to hand over Steam business information. Now they're handing it over to like a third-party company or whatever. So apparently, Apple nor Epic. It's the information isn't getting revealed to the public, though. I mean, this wouldn't be the first time information slipped out from one of these, if it did. But this is their defense against Epic. They're picking on Steam and making them give them records for that, which is sort of a little silly. It's like, oh well, them give us their information. That'll prove that we're not wrong. I don't know.
Surprised they didn't demand Half-Life 3 while they were at it.
Yeah.
Like, also get us at Half-Life 3.
So.
Yeah, before Q goes off on a rant, I know it's coming.
About this?
Well, you always have fun talking about Epic. Because, I mean, it's really interesting that not only is Steam getting hosed by Epic in every conceivable way, but now Apple wanted to go ahead and throw a couple of punches in while they're down as well.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call Steam down, really. I mean, Steam has gotten some record numbers this week in some of the games. I think Apex Legends on Steam is hitting record numbers. I think they hit a record on their concurrent logins recently within the last few weeks. So Valve is still doing good.
I think one down's probably not the best choice of words, but more like being bullied.
Yeah,
someone's
they're a
just
big target.
Yeah.
And they don't tend to do anything when you bully them. So, I mean, it's just
they're just like, whatever.
You poke the bear and you just think the bear's dead. You're like, is it still alive or is this just a rug? Like,
well, I mean, if your quality is high enough and you have subscribers and players coming to your platform, do you really have to go and drop the gloves and fight back? I mean, as long as they're not stealing away your money, you're still making money because you're putting out a good quality product.
I mean, Epic was like messing with their money, but yeah. Like, I love Steam's idea of we're just going to sit here and wait them out. And that's fine, except we're caught in the crosshairs because we're sitting up here going like, I guess it'll be a year before I play this. Now, of course, it went, and as Jim Sterling, or is it Jane Sterling now? Whatever the hell he's doing. As Sterling would say, the AAA industry. Like, the AAA industry put out games in such a crap state. I'm starting to think letting like a year pass isn't a bad thing. I mean, I'm sitting on games we just were talking about. If y'all heard some of the pre-intro, we were just talking about, like, I got 2 games I'm literally sitting on and waiting until they fix them that I'm not even going to play.
The controversy with Cyberpunk has sort of changed that some. I mean, just in the recent few months since Cyberpunk was released, we've had like 3 or 4 major games come out and say they were pushing back their development, their release dates by quite a large number. You saw it with New World. I think there's a couple other games.
Yeah.
I hadn't brought them all up because it hadn't been that big of a.
I just don't know how they miss all this stuff in the playtest. Like, I am strongly suspecting that either the people that are playtesting these games are not gamers and thus they don't even notice the glitches, or they're playing like 5 or 10 minutes and they're not playing the game from beginning to end.
Well, a lot of times I think it's a lot of those test consoles I think run a little differently. So they don't run across exactly the same eras.
I know what
Not
they
to
need to
mention
do is send
when
them
it
home
comes
with people to play test.
when it comes to PCs, you have, I mean, even if you let people from home do it, most of your gamers, like your hardcore gamers that are gonna go and try to sign up for the beta stuff and all that, tend to have decent rigs. And I mean, my experience with Cyberpunk was a lot less buggy than I heard a lot of some other people with PCs and Cyberpunk had, because I have a more stout rig. Having a good gaming PC will just plow through some of the bugs. Like,
Well, you just pointed out another thing. That's why you would need to test it on a standardized setup. Like, get your room, build you about 3 or 4 different PCs, different tiers. One of them should be set to the minimum that you claim can play your game. Common sense says that. What's the bare minimum we're telling people you got to have? Like, let's actually test it on that.
yeah, PC's
And then let's do Xbox, let's do PlayStation, let's do the consoles.
PC's so hard, though, with that, because you have almost a limitless amount of configurations.
Well, if you got the majority of them, then they don't care when people start complaining like you've got a weird rig. But like this was not a case of only certain rigs had a problem.
But I mean, the other things you got to take into account is usually test systems. They're not going to have, maybe a bunch of messenger apps in the background, or a bunch of, like
Why
us.
not?
Like us who have to have like
You're
GOG and
right.
Steam
You should
and
definitely put all that
Origins
on there. Yeah.
But
You should have porn running in the back the whole 9. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to test it right.
watching Chatterbait on one of your monitors while you're
I mean, all you're doing is just listing off the things that they should be doing that they're not, and this is why the play tests are so bad. But what gets me is there's no excuse for the consoles. It's like, go put a copy of the game, the one you're going to send out. Because I also think another problem is that they're playing like, they're getting like the source code. They're not really playing like, this is the game we're going to send out to people.
Well, they're not playing the finished product.
Test that.
But you also got to think that, in all honesty, gamers are usually more creative than developers are anyway. We're going to find different configurations, different ways. We'll notice things because, we're playing it a lot more than they
in
are.
the hedge lab. Like, we were talking about that long before it was unlocked. We were all kind of places. We're on top of the house, on top of the trees, and grounded.
So your players are going to play it so much more, and they're going to find inconsistencies because even when you're playing the game, hey, this wasn't here last time before, or that damage was less or more.
Like when
what
Zeno got double jump in Cyberpunk, he said he kept insta-dying because the game didn't think he'd actually use the double jump to get on top of buildings.
That was the thing. I was getting to
them.
places that they were considering out of bounds.
Yeah.
That were in the middle of town.
But circling back around, there's a lot of games that they're just sending out to the marketplace just to be able to get money. Like Borderlands 3. Great game. We've had a lot of fun with it, but it was out for a year before we bought it. They fixed all the bugs.
I heard it was really messed up before. Yeah, like we apparently bought it at just the right time because, I went to some of the old blogs. They were just like, oh, yeah, none of this works at all. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. This class feature doesn't work. This item doesn't work. Just mass amounts of things. And, it was just, this is completely useless and didn't work for months.
Right, in Cyberpunk, they pushed out a couple of times, and how many times have we talked on the show, I'd rather you push the game out further to get a good quality product than give me something that's buggy.
Or you can do like us, save yourself some money, wait for the price to cool down, some DLC to get added, the Game of the Year edition, give it a year, and you're good. Like nowadays, the next big game coming out, I'm probably going to just sit there and wait and let it sit. Even games I'm super excited for, like Black Myth Wukong, man, it's probably the biggest game I'm excited about next on my list, though I am also eyeing Fable.
Yeah.
And
the new Fable. Yeah, that's
but I'm probably going to let it at least sit for a minimum of a month. Like, you better give it at least 30 days. So it's probably going to sit back.
Let's go back to the original topic of Apple and Valve and all this. This lawsuit continues. Epic's getting pulled into it. We also had another thing come up on this earlier in the week, which was that the UK court dismissed Epic Games' lawsuit against Apple in the UK. Now, this was due to the fact that the branch of Apple in the UK has nothing to do with the App Store. But they did throw in a jab in there to say that the U.S. case was definitely a valid case. So,
Yeah, but that's also the UK court, which I could rant for hours about how the lack of dignity, ethics, and standards the UK courts have.
How does a UK court have any kind of realistic understanding of U.S. law?
I mean, as far as if we go by standard UK patterns, the person that said this is obviously like the daughter of the guy at Epic, and her husband's married to the Epic lawyer.
The UK
And they're having dinner together, right?
They're having dinner together, and there's just all these connections to the person that said this. But
yeah, I wouldn't say that the UK wouldn't know anything about U.S. law.
But the depth of it.
But yeah, the depth of it. I mean, our antitrust law and their competition laws are similar. So
And the only thing they did was give Epic a little bit of ammunition. Say, hey, this judge over here says it's actually a good case, so we're going to bring this into our corner over here.
And we still have lawsuits in Australia and the EU on top of the U.S. So they still have 3 other lawsuits other than the UK one.
But I mean, they're down to 3. Like they know one of them's already been tossed out. I think the others are going to get tossed too. I think that it's only going to probably go down in the U.S. and maybe the EU. I think Australia's going to toss it as well. I've seen Australian courts sometimes look at it and go, yeah, that's bullcrap. That's what I like. They have been known to call bullcrap on something, so I'm hoping they're going to do it again. They're going to go like,
I mean, Epic was so blatant. When
it was so obvious what they did was a breach of contract. I think Australia's going to be like, yeah, you can't breach a contract and then go, they're bullying us because they won't let us breach the contract that we made with them. It's like, yeah.
Well, and that's the tricky part too. This lawsuit isn't really about them breaching the contract. They're trying to bring up anti-competition.
But the actions that they're trying to claim are anti-competition were triggered by a breach of contract.
Well, and what they did that for was to try to get the people behind them, because people played Fortnite on Apple. Excuse me. People played Fortnite on Apple and Google, and so they intentionally breached it so that they could get people behind them going, look, Apple and Google, they're evil. Their stores are evil.
Man, they're picking a bad fight. Apple's got so much money, they could have every individual employee of Epic assassneassassinated individually, and they can afford it.
Mrs. Bloodaxe is in the chat room. Hey, Mrs. Bloodaxe.
Hey, sweetheart.
Hey.
Tell Tobin and White I said hello.
But I mean, they have that much capital, they can literally pay off, and they could buy Epic. You know,
Epic,
and you know what? They might pull the Xbox and just be like, you know what? We got a way to stop the competition. We're just going to buy Epic
and sell the franchises as parts.
First thing we're doing is put up a ban. Do not let that perv Randy Pitchford on the property. like first rule.
Well, that's Gearbox.
But he's an Epic fanboy. He was the guy that was just like praising at the Epic Store's altar. You know, when he isn't checking out magic tricks on work drives.
Yeah, I didn't see that episode on purpose.
Oh, all right. That was our Apple and Epic rant.
You started it. You said you wanted the Epic. You're going to get the Epic hate.
Yeah, no. I mean, that was Bloodaxe. Bloodaxe was egging you on for the Epic hate.
I was trying.
I need to give me some shades so I can get my hater shades.
We need a good rant at some point today.
All right. Well, let's try for one with random encounters. Let's pull up the dice cam here.
Remember the numbers you need to roll.
Let our guests roll
here.
Yeah, we need a 1 and a 1 and 18.
Yeah, we need a 1 and then we need an 18 follow up so we can ruin Zeno's day. You got the 1. Can you get the 18?
Wow.
Oh my God, is this happening? Oh, man, if you got that, that'd have been incredible if you actually went 1, 18.
All right, 10 is arrested. What are you most likely to do to get arrested?
I am most likely to get arrested for beating the shit out of somebody for fucking with my family.
Look at him taking the clean way.
I know.
Oh, no. You don't, I'm Papa Bear protective. I am.
What you got, Zeno?
Oh, what am I most likely to get arrested? Probably somebody touching me and I punch them and I'll get an assault. Because I don't like people touching me, and I don't think I don't think that's reasonable. usually in courts to punch somebody for.
It's considered assault. Yes.
Yeah.
Assault and battery.
Oh, it's battery if you actually.
Every time I've
assault
nearly been
this.
arrested, and I'm most likely to be arrested for, is probably for actually antagonizing the police, which is a really bad idea as a black guy. But sometimes when they annoy me, I choose to antagonize them back, and you probably shouldn't. Not in a more mouthing off, but like I will screw with them at times.
Luckily, last time I punched somebody for touching me, it was a friend of ours. So
So they weren't going to do nothing. We knew the security there. They'd have been like, "Is this guy you punched bothering you?" They'd probably take him out.
it's like he tried to hug me, and I didn't know it.
He came at you head on too,
did,
man.
he
Just
did.
and he just went rib shot.
So it wasn't like the one arm bro hug; it was both arms wrapped.
He was with his crew. His crew laughed. They thought it was hilarious.
His whole crew just laughed.
His whole
at
crew
him.
just laughed. They're like, "Man, I don't know why you came at him like that anyway, man."
bro hug, 3 taps, back off.
Yeah. All right.
But nah, like I would deserve it. I'm most likely to be arrested for something that was my fault. And when the police were like questioning me, I got on their nerves because well, I gotta say, if they're rude to me, I tend to be rude back. I'm usually though very polite to an officer, but I've had police officers be rude to me and I've been rude back. If they're rude to me, I'm rude back. So that's the most likely way I'll get arrested.
Well, you have the right to remain silent. What you lack is the capacity.
I just feel like, don't give it out if you can't take it. I'm not going to put my hands up. I'm not going to threaten you. But if you're asking me dumbass questions, and that's usually what starts it.
Fair enough.
What are you doing out this time of night? Driving? Where are you going? Away from here? Like, stuff like that tends to take them off.
Southbound.
But these are weird questions to get asked when it's like, I came to a rolling stop at a stop sign. Like, this is a weird set of questions. It should just be, give me a ticket. So then come to a complete stop.
I have been watching this YouTube series called Audit the Auditor, where there's a lot of people that go out and will film their encounters with cops. And there's this guy who goes through the legality of it. Like, okay, this is where the person who was in trouble with the cop messed up. Oh, this is where the cop messed up. And then he grades the cop and grades the person who had encountered the cops. And it's actually been pretty informative. The only problem is there's not a lot of them from the Mississippi area, and each state's laws vary so much. It's like I need to find some that are audited here in Mississippi, so I know what I can get away with.
I know, like, the reason I do that, too, is I know that I do know enough about the laws here that, like, if you ask a question that has nothing to do with the situation, you definitely don't have to answer it, and I usually won't. Like, if you ask me some oddball question, I'm going to be like, yeah, that's, you going to give me a ticket? Like, I ran a stop sign. And you don't need to know where I'm going. That has no relevance to the conversation. And why I'm here is just dumb question. Like, why I'm here, I'm driving. Like, that's always a dumb question. It's like, why are you out here? I'm murdering prostitutes. Like, what the fuck? You think you're gonna get as an answer? So it's just like that question always gets me.
Well, that's one of the funnier little skits I've seen done online. Is this guy was talking about how he got pulled over, and he basically tells the cop that he's got like a dead body in his trunk and all this stuff, and they call reinforcements up, and when they come out, he like hands them his insurance. Like, no, I don't have a gun in my glove compartment. Don't have, and so the head's just like looking at the other cop, like, you were saying he had a gun, and he's like, well, were you speeding? And the guy's like, would you believe anything that dude says? Like,
I like to actually look at the guy and go like, were you even speeding? What's going on here? You can technically say, I have a dead body in my truck. Can I search your car? No. You're going to have to go get a warrant.
Well, now it's probable cause.
But still got to get a warrant. You can still sit there all night.
Not probable cause.
All right, let them search it. It's funny. I've let somebody search my car because I didn't come to a complete stop at a stoplight. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, sure, knock yourself out.
I wouldn't let them search my car for that. They have no reason to.
At the time, I had nothing better to do, and I was being a smart ass. I was just like, sure, let's see how long we can hang out here.
Yeah, but you can't trust them. They'll plant something.
Yeah. Well, at the time, they weren't as bad about that. Nowadays, but back then, they were actually pretty upstanding.
All right, let's talk about gaming stuff.
Talk about
New
death.
report claims chaos and mismanagement at Dying Light 2 studio Techland. So yeah, this one is if you've been waiting for Dying Light 2, it may be a while.
I thought I was, but I'm done now.
Yeah.
I think this one's actually being run by Kathleen Kennedy based on some of the reports of the employees.
Yeah. The whole time Blood Axe was reading this,
They
it
haven't
was like,
fired nearly enough men for that to be the case.
Well, they didn't hire them.
But no, like lost 5% of their staff, I think, in just
Yeah.
a couple of months. Like
it says here, a well-known joke at Techland that nothing is ever approved, including the name of the game. You can be told to redo some work you had approved for a month just because the CEO changed his mind after seeing something on the internet. I will say this is actually a good conversation here, and that's the concept of giving in to loud voices on the internet. Like, this is one of the things I thought that ruined World of Warcraft, was you had a small percentage that complain, but they were the loud voices. And I mean, it's why you ended up with Classic and all that, was because finally the majority, the masses finally were like, look, man, there's things that we enjoyed. We enjoy a difficult game. We enjoy just because some people cried about it doesn't necessarily mean that's the majority's of your.
You don't think
your
Sekiro
base.
needs a super easy mode for people with no fingers?
Yeah.
By the way, I found it amusing, the guy that plays with his toes who beat Sekiro on hard and said, I don't need a damn easy mode. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, there actually was a guy that was like in the wheelchair, and he's like, I don't need an easy mode, punk. I play freaking like, on Demon Souls and all that. I play it hardcore. And I'm just like, yeah, it's a real knockdown for you to look at somebody and say, well, clearly you're not a decent gamer because of your handicap. So here, let's put the bumpers up. It's like, nah, man, like, the guy might be able to fully play this game. This person that was saying this, like the writers and all this that were saying this, weren't of that group, but they were championing the group that turned around and said, get our name out your mouth. Like, basically, get our name out your mouth. We can play the game.
Nobody changed Ninja Gaiden or Battletoads because it was too hard back when I was a kid.
Well, I mean,
I know. Like,
it's
Battletoads.
It is a weird line to walk.
I still couldn't get through it.
Because, I mean, there are some valid things you'll hear about on there. I mean, look at Sonic. Sonic, they changed because the internet said so, because it was horrible. But also,
let's be honest, the internet had to say it's over. If you just looked at that.
Yeah, I know. But also, I think that, once you take a step back from a project, you can make a reasonable call on this and not constantly just rely on what the internet says or what random people say. You got to go, is that a valid response? Is that valid enough to delay the game to change this? Because that's another thing. Just because, okay, yeah, maybe those spikes don't look the best that they could look. Should we spend a month trying to remodel these? Or should we take a step back, go, it's good enough, and we can fix it later, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in the business world, all of us are actually professionals, and in the business world, whenever a change comes up or suggested, there's another step that for some reason is not being done in a lot of places. Disney, Lucasfilms, Marvel, a lot of places aren't doing this, where somebody comes to you and they go, I think you should do this. Or a small group of research says, and the step they're not doing is the step where they get the idea, they go, okay, now let's sit down with a room of people and see if this is actually a good idea.
Well, no, I mean, even where
they
I
don't
work,
double check it.
Yeah, I work for a software development company. I'm quality assurance there. And, we get user stories or, basically things that the customers of the product want. Whenever you get those, what happens is you get your developers together, your business analysts together, your quality assurance together, and you discuss it, 90% of the time, what the customer asks for is not really best for the business. Now, usually you can go, all right, I know what they're wanting. But if we do it this way and make a feature like this, we can not only satisfy this customer, but we can add more value to other people, you know. And that's how a lot of those discussions tend to go. And sometimes we just look at them and go, no, that's not happening. You know, like it's not feasible.
I think a lot of what's going on here with not only with Techland, but as we talked about with Lucasfilm and some other issues, is very, very bad project management. There is no planning from A to Z. It's basically fly by the seat of your pants. Was when you walk into a project like this, what's the scope? What's the timeline? What are the quality initiatives? Okay, so if the spikes look a little bit fuzzy, okay, is it worth the amount of cost and delaying of time to fix this visual versus going on and getting the rest of the story correct? Oh, and we can maybe adjust this on patch 1 or 2.
And there's one more thing is that actually, this is one of the few things I share in common with Blood Axe, is that we both used to work in retail, actually at a time for the same company. And another big thing used to be just, okay, so this is being requested. By who? Like, what percentage of we run the numbers and be like, what customers? For example, a real thing was like, I'm not going to name the companies, but you know, there were some people that feel certain ways about furs. And the company considered it. They said, man, we're getting a lot of calls. But it was, once again, we're getting a lot of calls from PETA and other groups. I'll name them. I don't care. I hate PETA.
Partaking in tasty animals, yes.
Oh, man, tasty animals. And the weird part is they made me more of a carnivore. They annoyed me so much when I worked at this company that I now, I went out and started eating lamb and veal just because of them. Like, I want to eat innocent animals so they know that I'm a part of that demographic. But they pushed me to that. They harassed us so bad. But anyway.
They harassed us so bad that we had a template for email responses. Mm-hmm. We had a verbiage we had to read off for phone calls. And if they wanted to complain further, here, this is the person you call, and they're probably never going to answer the phone. But here, call them.
But it was like really harassing. But the key part is the company was not unreasonable. They looked at it, and here's what happened. They kind of pulled furs back, and everybody said, where the hell are our furs? And they looked at their customer base and said, whoa, the people complaining about the furs don't shop here. They figured that out. Guess what? PETA people kind of either are broke or weirdos, so they weren't really our customers. But, like, our customers were very high-end, and they wanted their furs.
Right, this goes back to a lot of discussions.
So it became a question of, like, oh, you got your really important customers, and then you got people that you found out. Well, no, remember, they didn't have cards or accounts or anything.
Right.
When you would ask them for their information, they had none of that. So you're like, you're not even our customer base.
So with the Techland issue, the people or the items they're reading on the internet, what percentage of the actual gaming population are they representing?
Are they even gamers? Are they just rando people complaining about some oddball thing? Half the people that yell about inclusion of very diverse and rare things in a game usually don't play it.
Exactly. We were talking about that during lunch day about another game where they made changes, and you can't please anybody. So in essence, have a project plan with scope and goals, achieve those goals. You're going to have backlash no matter what you do, but if it's financially successful, you'll learn, okay, what steps can we take to improve the next project?
I dare them to go see how many people in Cyberpunk out of their actual player base built that one particularly interesting combination that was desired so much, where a person had the very diverse changes in their body versus their organs and other things. I bet you the actual percentage of players that are actually playing that right now is like, well, probably less than 1%.
Didn't even look for it.
The majority of players are probably playing, all male or all female characters of obviously different sexual races. I think that's probably well represented, especially because the cyberpunk genre has a strong following. I agree that was the right decision to allow people to choose their romance options, because especially in the cyberpunk community, just like with Vampire, in some of the War of Darkness games, it's like, no, man, I know a bunch of people of alternate sexual persuasion that play that. You need to represent them because they are your customers. But I'm pretty sure that some of the options they thrown in were played at best for a gag, and maybe a handful of people actually seriously and were engaged in it.
Either they're completionists and they want to see all the video sequences, but
But you heard so much about it. It was so loud.
Yeah, it was so loud.
About it all the time.
But the one thing that actually I was pleased with is you didn't have to go through all the things that would make me uncomfortable just to get all the achievements. So I did get all achievements for Cyberpunk 2077, and I did only one romance option. So the other ones didn't bother, but I still got the achievements for those characters. So I do applaud them for doing that. But if you wanted to go alternative,
I mean, you should just have achievements for completing a romance arc. The one you choose shouldn't be nailed down because then it's like, But even then, I mean, if ain't your achievement, it ain't your achievement, man.
I quit playing Dragon Age.
I don't really care if there's an achievement I can't get. Dragon Age did have I know unique, but you know what? To me, I'm like, hey, that's that. They have theirs, you have yours. That's fair too. I mean,
they have the options, but you don't have to do it in order to complete the game.
Well, yeah, no, you don't have to.
And I appreciate it.
But I actually appreciate. Honestly, I really wish more games just did like Fallout. I believe you should be able to date whoever you want. I believe when you go in a game, there should be male and female and other for other interests options, and every character. I actually don't like in Cyberpunk that it's specific.
Just make sure that there's not that one character who just keeps asking over and over again. I mean,
hey, there's a patch for that, man. Shut up, Preston Garvey. Good patch, real good patch. I think they've made it official though. I think now they officially fixed it.
It was a bug. So
I mean, he hit on me so much, and he was my boy. Like I was running with the bitty bit, but I was like, dude, you gotta understand, I had the Nora mod. So I'm like, dude, my wife is right here. Like, you're being very disrespectful to my wife. Like, she's standing here looking at you, and I'm just like, it's my baby girl. We looking for our kid right now. I got a family, man. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was especially weird to be standing there with Nora, and then, like, Preston's just like, about that thing we talked about, and I'm just like,
what thing? There is no thing.
Yeah, And then finally they had that, like, keep it professional, man. They're like, I think that's even a line. It's like, keep it professional. It's like, all right.
All right, so let's talk about...
I'm an old romantic, man. I had to roll with my wife, man. I can't make my wife and then not play with my wife.
This one's more interest for me because I would love to see this franchise have some new life breathed into it.
I can't remember anything about it.
I don't know if Bandai Namco is really the best option to breathe life into it.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Might and Magic sort of come back from the grave.
Yeah, dude, I don't remember a lot. Like, that goes back. I remember it was very traditional fantasy.
Yeah, it was
which is why I don't remember a lot about it, because it was basically D&D. The video game, like, it was very
one of the cool things that Might and Magic did, and my favorite game of theirs was there was like Might and Magic Clouds of Zen, and then there was Might and Magic something else of Zen. And if you had gotten both games, they actually combined, and it became the world of Zen.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of how you could roll all the way through the Pool of Radiance series, man. You could go like Pool of Radiance to Azure Bonds.
Bringing your
characters. If you're playing the same character. No, if you played the same character, you could play them all the way through and meet people. And it was just like the series. It didn't combine like just officially, but it was just cool that there's only a few games, like other than like Suikoden, where it was like, you've got a game saved from the previous game. Let's import
I think Left 4 Dead
over.
did that, didn't they?
Yeah.
I don't know if Left 4 Dead imported the save, but I know...
We imported the characters from Left 4 Dead 1 into the second one, I think.
We might have.
It's been a while, though.
Yeah, so it's Dark Side of Zen and then Clouds of Zen. And when they combine...
You don't mean Dead Island?
Yeah, I mean, sorry.
Dead Island, yeah, because I have a boy, and I rolled in there,
It had this,
if Might and Magic 4 and 5 were installed on the same system, they would be combined into a single game, which was really cool.
I would play that.
But to me, this was the last real good Might and Magic, and this was back in 1995.
I think that'd be cool. I was hoping they would do that with Dying Light. I thought it'd be awesome if when you got Dying Light 2, if you had the first game, they just had the other map still there, so you could wander from the second map to the first one. Because that's basically what that did. And that's a brilliant idea that as you get more games, you just can go like, oh, man, I'm going to go back here, but now I got a chainsaw from the second game. I got some grudges to grind out.
Yeah. But, yeah, so cross my fingers, sort of hope for that. That would be cool.
Everybody, let's hope for Xeno that he gets his Might and Magic reboot.
They also had the Heroes of Might and Magic games, which was a strategy-style game.
Yeah,
and the third one was awesome, but after that, they all sort of sucked. So,
But you got to worry about the loot box system they're going to implement.
Yeah, shut up. Shut up. Shut your fucking
You
mouth.
got to buy every class separately.
Speaking of loot boxes,
Now I want to look at Bandai Namco and see what they've been doing. What the hell has Bandai Namco been doing lately? Like,
yeah.
I can't name a recent game from them at all.
Soul Calibur.
There's Soul Calibur? They did Soul Calibur?
Yeah.
Well, they're halfway talented then. I mean, Soul Calibur is fun.
All right. So next we have Anthem Development seizes BioWare to focus on Dragon Age and Mass Effect 2.
The Tales games. Now
Or
I
Mass
gotta
Effect,
apologize.
yeah.
I love the Tales games.
So basically with this one, you had... All right, I'm just going to let them talk because they're whispering
fuck
over
you.
there.
We're
He's
talking
not
here.
talking. He's mumbling about the.
Yeah, I
Dragon
know,
Ball
which
Z
is
Kakarot.
He's actually finding games that.
Tekken
yeah.
7. Now, a Tekken style Might and Magic game would be interesting with.
I think they actually tried that, didn't they? Or, no, that was
Soul Calibur.
More or less.
All right, go ahead now.
You ready?
You have my
Ready?
permission.
We can talk
to
about
talk.
Anthem now.
Oh man, let's
Let's talk about Anthem.
By the way, this
Or-
is the game, y'all, that I'm always forgetting the name of. That I keep going. You know that Iron Man type game? It's Anthem. I finally have it. I know the name. Of course, I've got it too late because it's done. But
Well, we talked about it in the past, and we talked about how they were adding. They were going to do a 2.0 patch, which was supposed to fix everything. It was going to make the game good, you know, because they failed the first time, and now they're just like, yeah,
you can count on us. We guarantee we'll fix this. Come back later. We're not fixing this. Play Dragon Age.
Which, I mean, honestly, they should have focused on Dragon Age and Mass Effect to begin with because these are loved franchises, you know.
Not Andromeda.
But Anthem was just they were trying to.
It was supposed to be a trilogy.
They were trying to come over and cause jump on the bandwagon of the whole FPS because FPSs had gotten big again with Fortnite and Overwatch and Destiny and all that.
The idea of Anthem was good. And even what they were doing with the class and weapons, it was like the Iron Man armor suit Warframe version of Borderlands. Like the concept should have been amazing. It wasn't. But like they had all the right pieces. And now that's like Captain Kennedy. Handed all the right pieces. They're on a table in front of you and you're like, this is gold. And then somehow when they finished putting it together, there's just a turd there. And it didn't have any turd going in, so you don't even know where the turd came from. You're like, how did you turn this into shit? It was gold going in.
Well, the EA Chief Studios officer, Laura Miley, says game was a creative risk that taught the company a lot.
It wasn't a creative risk.
I
They
mean,
had all the
you
right
have a
tools.
risk with any game you make, but it's just, I mean,
3D flying, your own customized armor suits with their own different combat types, unique weapons with special qualities. All the right tools were here. There was no part of Anthem when you on paper that did not look amazing. On paper, I'm dead serious. I thought this game was going to be the next big thing.
and as a mecha-loving player, I haven't found a good mecha game in God knows how long.
Dude, they even had my thing. They had the big, heavy, like, I'm willing to freaking power axe one. And I was going to be like, oh, man, blood's going to be flying around and blasting all Tony Stark style. And I'm going to be stomping across the ground. Like, I was wanting to play this game. But then, like, when I was getting ready to buy it, it was just like, wait, whoa, everybody is pissed. What's going on? And and it was just a spiral of failure. Like so bad that, well, anyway, I mean, I know a lot about this game because I was actually watching it. And game development is hard.
Life is hard.
Making games is hard. Yeah, making Star Wars movies is hard. There's nothing for me to pull information from. What am I supposed to use to make it?
The moment she said that, I called bullshit. and yeah, I mean, the EU has tons of content, which John
and it's
John
the same
Favreau's
here,
been
so we
pulling
don't get
from.
to our subject. They had the amazing thing about Anthem is that it wasn't an original idea, but that's what was good about it. It took all the things I wanted to see combined, and it was trying to put all those together. I was just like, hey, I remember because there was this game. You know, I was expecting. Remember that mecha game I could always tell you about? I played way back in the day where you were flying around and you're oh man.
Yeah.
But like there were so many game ideas I wish somebody would put together in one game, and this is the first time somebody said, "Yeah, all that stuff you think's cool, we're putting all that in this game."
But yeah, they say moving forward, we need to laser focus our efforts as a studio and strengthen the next Dragon Age and Mass Effect titles while continuing to provide quality updates to Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah, that. But by the way, that focus on Dragon Age is they took the multiplayer out of Dragon Age.
Yeah. That was.
Did
I was
people
gonna talk
actually
about that.
play the Old Republic?
Oh, okay. We
online?
actually got. I know we had a full thing.
Well, no, we don't have a full thing. I was just going to bring that up here. That is one of the things that came out this week
I would
as
love to have
well.
played Dragon Age with you. That'd have been fun, man.
We tried.
And it looked no, not Dragon Age.
No, we tried, and you can't play the campaign co-op.
Oh, you can't do you can't. You can only do the
the
multiplayer.
little dungeon thing. Yeah,
But
that
like,
was
I
ridiculous.
would love to play a fantasy. I love action RPGs. That's my favorite game genre of all. And I would love to get an actual action RPG with my friends I could play. It didn't even have to be that good. Like, just if I could play it. Like, we played Remnant, and we tried to play Code Vein.
Dude.
He hates anime, and we still
I tried.
really hard just because we want to play an RPG together, an action RPG.
What was that alien game that we played that was by 505 Studios on the planet, and you had to keep eating goop?
Oh, the silly little game. I forgot the name, but it's a little search and research game. Yeah, but it wasn't an RPG.
Savage Planet.
Savage Planet.
Cheesy
And-
little game, but we played.
Oh,
the
yeah, we
Jesus
played a
out of
bunch
that game.
out of it.
Oh my! And it wasn't all that great. It was clunky. It was a platformer. Shouldn't be a platformer, but we had fun because we were playing together.
Well, they realized that for a co-op, you don't have to even be the greatest game if you're co-op. If you've got good co-op, that makes up points. It could be a 7 out of 10 game, but if it's got solid co-op, it can easily get to an 8 or 9 because playing with your friends makes up a lot. Like, we just got through playing Smash Ultimate. Fighting game-wise, Smash Ultimate's a joke. But playing it with your friends and growing to hate them, it's the fun of it because he shoots you in the back of the head constantly.
Hey, you still got with Zeno.
No, I whooped Xeno's ass, yeah.
Say what? Sorry, that's
I won one match at least.
You did. Yeah, you won.
You give me Ganondorf its own.
Yeah, you whooped everyone's ass with Ganondorf. I have made some bad calls, okay? I wasn't ready.
It's kind of like when I played you with Soul Calibur the first time in 5 years. Oh, you don't know how to defend? No, I don't.
Yeah, I was up here going like, when he blocks, I'm going to tear him up. When he blocks.
I don't block.
Zeno just comes in and goes, I've got this parry move. You
Rock, paper, scissors.
But back on point, Anthem had the potential, just to finish it off, Anthem had the potential to be a really good game because it had co-op, it had action style, it had looting. It was a looter shooter with sci-fi elements and some
It was meant
fantasy
to be an
elements.
action RPG,
It was also a looter.
mass online shooter.
And watching the gameplay, I saw, it's like Cyberpunk. I saw all the pieces there, but they weren't implemented right, but they were there. And I will say RIP 2.0 because I was planning to get the game if they actually fixed it. I was watching. And sadly, I know Angry Joe, I think, was also watching.
I think it's on the Game Pass. I was eyeballing at something we could play together.
You were not in the way it is now.
No. There's other games we're looking at instead, but still.
But man, if they came in with the 2.0, because I mean, even Cyberpunk, I'm waiting. Like, I still believe Cyberpunk's going to end up being one of the best games once the modders and everybody have fixed it. But Anthem is apparently not going to happen.
It was fun. It was buggy, but it was fun.
Yeah, I would think how much more fun it's going to be when there's new cars, better clothing options,
DLC.
better cyberware, more DLC.
Oh, cyberware, yeah, it's very lacking. I expected more cosmetic changes.
I need more shotguns. Their shotguns are okay, but I'm a shotgun connoisseur, and I need better shotguns.
I just had this.
I will say they're sniper rifles. I'm a sniper type of guy. Didn't really care for their
I
sniper
didn't bother with
system.
sniper rifles. Yeah, I tried a couple times and wasn't impressed, but
The best system they had was melee or pistols, in my opinion.
yeah, now the pistols felt good, man.
Oh,
I went
no.
on some pistol murders. No, and if you hadn't tried it, some of the heavy weapons were fun. The heavy machine gun, where you just roll in there with your RoboCock out and just.
Oh no, I went in with the SmartLink shotgun and the rocket launcher arm, and
I was
the
using an old double
SmartLink
barrel.
shotgun was actually pretty interesting. Like,
oh yeah, I was like, hey, Miss Bloodek, watch this. See that guy over there? He's behind the wall. Yeah, I know. And the bullets would go around the corner. It was great.
I was running around the double barrel, plugging up people's noses, and it had a decent feel. But I mean, I would have liked to gotten something with a little more of a Benelli feel to it. Nice, solid combat shotgun with some kick. It feels like it's got weight when you pull it. I'll give that, man. Like Borderlands 3, I got my shotguns, man. I love my shotguns on there.
All right, Q. Let's get another random encounter in here.
See if I can get this one in this 18. Come on, man.
Good luck, man.
All right, we're gonna roll the black and gold. Come on. Almost got an 18 outright.
Oh, I think that's a Q.
What is it? I can't see.
17.
Oh, Lord.
I think that's a Q one.
Let's see what I got. Maybe it's a blood axe one, huh?
I hope not.
Creeped. Oh, no, that's something horrible. Sorry. Q's reckless speculation.
Oh, boy. All right.
What do you want to? What do we want to get Q to have a reckless speculation on?
Yeah. Y'all want to pick a topic? Yeah, I'll run with it.
So
I am crazy enough to have the correct speculations about almost everything that currently exists.
You don't want me to speculate, or I'm bringing Star Wars every time. You know that.
I know, but I want to give I want to give Zeno a chance to pick something else he wants to hear about other than Star Wars. Otherwise, yeah, Star Wars is my current one.
Oh,
that's an interesting. I didn't just like the same thing we said. I got a little
Mass Effect 4.
Mass Effect 4. All right, my current theory is that with all the rebooting and everything they've been doing, that they're definitely going to roll back to the original storyline. Plus, with some of the things that we're going to roll into in a minute, like we've heard certain words and names dropped, I think they're going to try to dive back in, pull in the fan base from the previous games. The only annoying part is I think they're going to also try to keep riding that Reapers. I don't think they're going to bother with a new main villain. I think they're going to try to go back and bring the Reapers back in as a major element and see if they can. In fact, what I'm really afraid of is it's going to be a genuine. They're going to actually try to be like, now here's the real ending to Mass Effect 3. Like, now you got to beat this game to find out what really happened to the Reapers. Because even after they tried to fix it, none of the endings for Mass Effect 3 felt fulfilling. I mean, it's literally why Mass Effect Andromeda happened. It was because they said, we did something so weird and stupid with the end of this game, we can't even continue this story. So we're just going to say that these guys are way over here. That's how much we effed up. Now they're going to probably come back. And what I think they're going to do is they're going to go, well, you're not quite done with the Reapers yet. So if you want to really finish the Reaper storyline, you're going to have to play this. Now, what I'm scared of, because I'm so OCD, I'll do it, is if they say your game for Mass Effect 3 will carry over, I will play through all the games again. I would go through Mass Effect 1 through 3 to have my game file pass over to 4.
I'm almost thinking about doing that anyway with the remake. I've been back and forth on it for a while. I did love those games, so
especially 1 and 2.
Yeah,
I've been debating
Especially
actually
1.
playing because I bought the first one when it first came out, and I quit playing it the moment you got to make a decision which one of your party members die, because when I play RPGs,
If it helps, Ashley never stops being a bitch.
Well, I get invested with my party.
She pissed me off in the second game.
Whether it be KOTOR 1 or 2, any other games where you actually have companions, I bring the ones I enjoy running around with. And then, I can't save one of these no matter what I do. It pissed me off, so I shut it down.
It was rough, but I got through it. But, I hate the decision I made because I chose the guy. And the second game, Ashley just wouldn't stop waving a gun in my damn face, man. And I was like, I'm going to kill this heifer. They're lucky they never put up that option, that renegade option, because I wanted to cap her by the end of the second game. She pissed me off.
The good thing is with BioWare now is they have been pretty good about when the games relate to each other. Doing, I know with Dragon Age, you can actually go to their website and you could go through the story on the website, choose all the things that you picked or would have picked, save that, import that into the game, and then it would go, okay, these are your picks. So if you don't have your saved games, you remember what you did or what you wanted to do.
That was really helpful.
You can go and make that file and import it in.
Now, that was really helpful because, I had played Dragon Ages on console and I had gotten Inquisition on PC, and I was not happy. I was not happy, and then I went in and I was able, and I still think there's a couple of side stuff that, you kind of had to play the games again. But for all the major decisions, you were able to guide it to where you wanted. And that was a really big deal to me since I played Dragon Age Origins, all the DLC, and Dragon Age 2. And I was like, but, Inquisition, I ended up getting it on, like, the PC. And I was like, I was not a happy camper.
Yeah, I played it on the console, but I've been debating going back and doing Dragon Age 1 and 2.
Dragon Age Origins is amazing. I could easily play through it plus all the DC again without a second thought, man. Like, it's that good.
Well,
and play through it with every character almost.
Well, speaking of speculation about Mass Effect, we have some other Mass Effect news that recently came out, and that is Henry Cavill post an Cavill posted an
Superman.
Instagram picture
Not anymore.
teasing a Mass Effect project. Now, what this is this picture he had put on Instagram, and people have gone and de-blurred a lot of this, and you find out that like several of the names in here are those
Reaper,
from
Talizora, Shepard, like several. It's obviously a Mass Effect script.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's for a game
Cerberus,
or a show,
Reaper, Geth, and Talizora.
Well, we know they're making another Mass Effect game, but is he going to lend his voice to Mass Effect, or are they actually making a film?
Well, that's true too.
That's
It
the
could
question.
be
'Cause they could be doing
just
both.
voice.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a made-for-Netflix type series or something. You never know.
So, I mean, but the possibility, I mean, he's a big gamer fan, so him getting involved in Mass Effect would not be a shock.
So you think you can get on board with him as Shepard?
Yeah, I could deal with that. I mean, given that Shepard looked different to everyone anyway, I don't really care who plays him, as long as he's a good actor. Because, I mean, my Shepard was black. Like, and had like a mustache and a goatee.
Yeah.
And others.
They can always blur out the mustache like they did on Justice League.
No, that was terrible. Snyder Cut is look. We got the Snyder Cut coming, man. They'll fix it.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see how his involvement in Mass Effect. I mean, when it comes to video game projects, he has become like the top name since he's come out so much about his love for The Witcher and the video games, the books. He's a big World of Warcraft player. He plays games like Total War, Warhammer, stuff like that. Like I've seen several.
And he plays a Skaven.
I've seen several reviews with him, and almost on all of them, he gets into a rant about how he loves video games. And
I mean, it's a good idea with video game movies becoming so common. Like, hey, man, be a niche. Like we talked about recently about certain people like seeming to get into a certain community, like horror, sci-fi, and become like famous within that community. But it's still famous. Like, it's still a form of fame. It's like everybody knows your name in this community.
So, playing devil's advocate, if you look at the picture, he's actually taking his own selfie while holding the script in his hand. Do you think he's actually reading a script, or do you think he's pitching that he wants to be in a Mass Effect project?
No,
I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here. There's not any more information other than
Exactly. So
I totally think he did that too on the slick. He's like, "Hey, I'm just gonna take a picture of myself
Now
with
he
my
does-
makeup on."
yeah,
And
he-
look, look. He's like, "I'm just gonna take a picture of this." Slides the script up in the corner.
He does note the Instagram as a secret project or just a handful of paper with random words on it. Guess you'll have to wait and see. Happy Hump Day, all.
That's how I know it's not, because if it was just a piece of paper with random words, everybody would be so pissed. You know how much trouble he would get in if this was fake. Like, you don't want to piss off the gaming community like that. It'd be like, and it'd be like, nah, man, I'll just screw with you. It'd be like,
well, the only reason that Rosario Dawson got cast as Ahsoka Tano is from social media stuff. She wasn't even interested, but it caught on like wildfire.
well, now they're trying to fire her.
That's been disproven.
Yeah. Well, what they've actually also pulled out of this is if you look at what they pulled the words they could out of this, and then they related it to other things, and they found out it is the Wikipedia post on Mass Effect.
See?
So,
It's not a script.
well, no, I mean, a lot of scripts will pull Wikipedia and stuff to give a concept of what's going on. So it may just be the concept page. Who knows?
Who knows?
Or he could have just printed off of the Wikipedia for Mass Effect to try to.
I mean, I doubt he would have the real script showing, because that probably would be a breach.
Exactly.
But having like, look, I got to read up on Mass Effect. I wonder why. This Shepard seems like a classy guy.
Yeah. True. I mean, depending on how classified a script is, I've heard them not even letting the script out of the studio. Like you haven't, except I'm sure COVID probably helped take.
Imagine how much better the world would be if the Last Jedi script had leaked out before, so people could actually go like, "Oh my God." But no, they didn't want that. They didn't want the warning fight. Like the people being like, "No."
Oh, there was already rumblings because Mark Hamill was posting things on social media that he wasn't happy with it. So we knew it was coming.
He didn't know it was going to be as bad as it was.
So I mean,
he did.
I mean, we didn't know.
No,
like,
we did not.
I heard rumblings, but I was like, well, how bad? Oh, my God.
And with some of the other stuff going on with Henry Cavill, it also leads some credence to this. Man of Steel, that's the wrong one. We'll talk about that here in a second, maybe. Superman's getting rebooted with a new movie from Star Wars. Star Wars is J.J. Abrams, so they are rebooting apparently Superman. They've even talked about it may.
They're talking about doing World 6 Superman though, the black one.
Yeah,
which gets into this will be yet another DC alternate universe because it's World 6. It's like not the core. So you're just like, oh boy, we're gonna be this or universe, excuse me, but like yeah, we're just gonna be bouncing around. It's interesting that they want to give the Black Superman his own movie. I don't know why, because he's literally just Black Superman, really. So it's just like, it's not really, like it's Superman.
The lack of continuity in DC makes it impossible to keep up.
I mean, this is literally another world, so it's not an invalid story. It's just, I'm like, but why?
But the lack of continuity, how can
I'd
you
rather
invest
get my
yourself?
Static Shock movie so that I can have crossover
Black
and be a part
Lightning.
of the main.
Any of them.
They did the Black Lightning show. It was okay. But, like, I love Virgil Hawkins. I would love it. And also, he'd be a teen hero. He'd be in the right age group. This is a good time. It would be great to see Virgil Hawkins in live action. I'd love to see it. And it doesn't look like we're going to get it. Instead, we're going to get a Black Superman because they don't want to do any character that has their own story. They just want to do the skin swap variant, and I'm like, I'd rather follow Virgil's story or even a Blue Beetle live action. Blue Beetle is Latino, and he's getting an interesting story, man, because the way his suit comes from, and it goes into this whole space invasion arc, and they can play a bit of body horror because the suit's not really nice, so there's a lot of interesting play on that. But no, let's just do Black Superman, and I'm just like, but you have characters.
Yeah.
Like, use the ones you have. You have good characters. And now Black Adam can't be called Black Adam. They want to call him Shazadam or something because black's offensive. And I'm just like, I hate you all. I hate you all. On behalf of the black community, we hate you. And no, we're not talking about racist white people. We're talking about you. You people that think you're helping. We hate you.
So also we have Man of Steel star receives backlash for dating Gina Carano years ago.
Now this not doing anything.
This comes in with all the latest Mandalorian. Gina Carano cancels.
Hey, who in this room doesn't have a crazy ex?
Now
I'm not even saying she is a crazy ex because she's actually like not too bad. She just some of her posts a little out there, but like. I got genuine crazy exes, man.
Well,
like,
this is also really
why does that judge you.
Yeah. This is also one of those weird social media things because it's not the cancel Gina group, it's not the cancel Disney Plus group. It's like a few members on both sides, because for some reason, of course, the people who are mad about Gina getting canceled want to try to take other people down with her. Because that makes it better for some reason. And then, there's people, that are just so anti.
Well, no, that's good. Fire Kathleen.
Well, no, he's talking about the whole hashtag Fire Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Which, as we talked about earlier, I don't want anyone to lose their job. I just don't want her contract renewed.
Oh, yeah, I just don't want her making Star Wars. She can go make whatever she wants. But I feel the same, dude. Rian Johnson is a plague on Star Wars, the worst thing that ever happened. But when Knives Out came out, I was like, that's his stick. Yeah, he's good at that. When it did well, I said, good for him. I hope he does great at those movies, so he'll stay out of Star Wars. I hope he'll do the thing he's really good at.
He's pitching his Star Wars trilogy.
I mean, let's be honest.
Own your trilogy.
You know what we talked about the other day? If I wear a basketball jersey, it's going to be the Bulls, man. It's going to be Jordan. But let me tell you something. I dang well was going like, this brother need to stop playing baseball. Oh, my God. Please go back to basketball. Oh, this is terrible. You hurting me, man. Get your ass off the diamond. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being able to say that. And for Rian Johnson, man, I hated you as a Star Wars movie director. But Knives Out sounds really funny. Like, I've actually looked into it. Sounds like it'd be something I could sit down with my mom and watch and we'd laugh. I mean, he's good at those types of movies, man.
I believe, but I'll never watch it because of what he did to my Star Wars.
Yeah, but
I would because that's a separate thing. But it's like, you don't like Star Wars. You know you don't.
Yeah.
So don't make Star Wars.
So as far as Henry Cavill goes, most people don't think anything ever happened to him as far as the whole cancel thing because, I mean, he is probably one of the nicest guys on the internet. Everybody is a pretty big fan of Henry, and he's not on social media a lot, so it's not like they can really dig anything up on the guy either. You know, whenever he speaks, he tends to speak in a very professional manner through interviews, stuff like that. Not in random social media type posts.
I have dated people who don't have my religious beliefs, who don't have my political beliefs. That's the other part that's dumb. It's like, yeah, they dated. They're not together. Maybe they broke up because of their political differences. You don't even know. It could literally be that's what broke them up. I think it's because she was a little old for Henry, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
But I'm go there. Hey, I like Henry. And I mean, legal is legal, I guess. I don't really agree with that mentality, but I'm not going to call him a monster. But he does like his women a little younger. And younger women tend to also lean a little bit more to the left. But I don't believe that they can go, you once dated a Republican, cancel you. I'm like, that has nothing to do. He may not have shared those views. Like, you know, don't make assumptions about people based on, like, you once dated this person who years later said this thing we don't like. It's like, that could be why they could be why they're not together. Literally, you could be getting mad at him, and that could be the reason they're not dating. That's how bad it is to make that assumption. Because, I mean, there's somebody I stopped dating one girl because she was a feminist, and she held some really hostile views about black men that I just said, man, your opinions about black men are kind of rough, man.
And you're a black man.
I know. And I was just like, but it was also overall, I was like, your views are kind of rough. Like, if you're that hostile to us as a group, doubt you're going to treat me well. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way that's going to probably go well. So you could disagree with someone's views, and that'd be why you're not dating anymore. So that's a dumb thing for people to try to come at him and him to get backlash because JJ and Carano, when it could be like, he would never throw under the bus like that. I don't think he's got a guy that would if that was the reason. But it could literally be we broke up because we had differing points of views. It could be the literal reason. That's how dumb that is. Because I don't know what these weirdos do. But when I first ask someone out, I don't go, I need to know your political stance about this, this, and this. Instead, it's usually like, hey, what do you like to eat? You know, let's go grab a movie. I usually don't discuss politics well into after I've gotten to know someone a little more because it's kind of personal. Yeah, it's really not something you discuss casually with someone.
It took us a decade to talk politics.
I know, and we disagree.
We do.
It's like we have to disagree.
But we discuss. We're respectful, and
and
when we disagree,
it doesn't change how I feel about you. That's something else. It's like politically, I don't like your political views, but as a friend, boss boy, man, you're my boy, you're my brother. Because again, your political views don't also mean you're a monster. It's like, oh my God, what are your political views? Well, clearly you want to stab my children. I don't think that's the case. Oh. And you're not looking at me going like, get a job. I mean, it's like political views don't mean you feel certain ways about people.
I mean, if we were all judged on who we dated in the past,
oh God.
I wouldn't be able to.
You'd be at the bottom of that, but right after that would be him.
I
don't know.
I've had some psycho winners.
Yeah, you've had some. You've had some.
I didn't marry any of them. No, I didn't marry any of them.
That's a step better.
That's a step better. Well, yeah, I bet I didn't marry any of them. But like, you can't judge somebody. But also, there's another example of the reason I didn't marry this person is a lot of our different views. So again, the things that we had issues with are the reasons we weren't together. So literally, you can't judge because that could be the actual reason people separated. That's all I'm trying to say. It would be interesting if Henry Cavill was going like, man, I left her because I didn't share her point of views on some things. And yet he's getting attacked because he dated her. This is a very dumb thing. Plus, we dig to these people's, there's an old statement, I'm going to say dirty. I haven't cursed too much, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. There's an old statement that an older woman once said. I'm not going to put it out there. An older woman once said the same and said, when she was talking to other young women because they were being seduced, she said, almost, we can dig through any of y'all's past and find a cock you wish you didn't have sucked. Like, she basically said, like, everyone's got something in their closet that they regret.
Yeah.
And just because Henry Cavill is more famous so you can get his more, I'm sure that if we go look up even the person that wrote these articles or doing that, they probably got some shady. Hey, remember when you used to do blow off the about behind the school and then the three-way? Remember that?
Well, I mean, even from a religious perspective, I mean, he who has sin cast the first stone. If they have done nothing wrong, then you have a right to speak. But because he dated someone in the past, they shouldn't be calling out his business, which makes no difference anyway.
Like, we want to go through your dating history, guys? Y'all want to do that? You talking this crap, man. Come on the show. We'll talk to We'll go. Let's go down the list.
We went from hand jobs to Bible scripture. I think on that note, we're going to...
Remember that one homeless guy that you hooked up with?
From fellatio to scripture.
Remember that one homeless guy you hooked up with that lived in his car? Remember that guy? Yeah, you need to be quiet out there.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
He didn't have a freaking home.
All right, everybody stay tuned. We got some really good content coming out. We did an interview yesterday, so be looking for that later on this week. I think you'll be very, very pleased with who we're able to speak with. Want to say thank you to Mrs. Bloodaxe and my little mini Bloodaxes out there for letting me come up here for a couple of days and hang out with these guys. We got some new website footage coming out, and I've also got a couple of things lined up, so definitely stay tuned for that.
Don't forget the good news. Bloodaxe has taught me how to set up so I can actually record videos. Y'all know me in the tech. So now you'll actually get to see some Flack videos where you get to see me watching him fall off of platforms.
Again.
Because you only get to see it from his point of view. You don't get to see me just watching it.
The hand of God, it cracks me up.
And then me soloing. Well, no, you get to see that because you're dead. So they get to see it after you die because they get to see your camera.
Oh, my gosh.
But you get to see me from the beginning like, we're doing good. We're doing, and you just see Bloodaxe die.
No, spectating.
Yeah, spectating. I'm just like, hey. And then I thought, well, maybe it'll be different with Thundermax. Thundermax died. Was he holding on to your back pocket?
He was already dead.
Yeah. We gotta pick on Thundermax because he's trying. Hey, you know what? He didn't quit. He stuck with us. We've had some folks won't play with us anymore. They just like, you guys played too hard a version.
Trying
of the
to
game.
get Zeno on board.
He is talking about it. We make it now. One thing about Zeno, if he gets in there, he'll beat Mayhem 10. Like, I know him. He's not going to let us put him in the kiddie pool. So.
No.
Like we'll have somebody roll, and then we'll have him. If we get him, then we get Thunder. We're set.
Oh, the Wolf 4-man Guardian takedown like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna make Thunder play Amara again now. I'm gonna push him like play Amara. Play Amara.
All right, let's end the show. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all that good stuff. YouTube. You can like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Come over here to Twitch every Sunday at 3:30 Central Time. You can watch us live. Join in the chat room. Follow us there. And as every week, we hope you enjoy.